Hello friends, welcome to Reading Mindset. Today, we're going to talk about how to live on 24 hours a day by Arnold Bennett. There's one thing in everyone's life that is equally distributed, and that is time. No one can buy more of it, save it for later, or borrow it from someone else. Every person gets 24 hours a day and not a minute more, not a second less. Arnold Bennett powerfully emphasizes this at the start of his book. He says time is the resource that both the richest and the poorest person receive equally. The difference lies in how one utilizes it. Think about it, even if someone has immense wealth, they can't buy back a single hour of their past. A CEO or a prime minister has the same 24 hours as you or I do. This sounds simple, but it's the most powerful truth. Bennett tries to make us understand the value of time because it's something that silently slips away without us noticing. Often, we say, "I don't have time," but the truth is, we do have time, we just haven't learned to use it properly. Just as we think carefully about where to invest our money, we should think the same way about time. The problem is that time isn't visible or tangible, so we take it lightly. But once we realize that every minute has a cost, we start avoiding wasting it. Bennett says we should respect time the way we respect money or other valuable things. If someone gave us $100 daily and asked how we'd use it, we'd spend it thoughtfully. But when it comes to time, we often squander it scrolling, gossiping, or procrastinating without thinking. This is the real loss, a loss that can neither be recovered nor replaced. Many people complain that they couldn't achieve anything in life, that they didn't get opportunities, or that their luck was bad. But Bennett's point is that time management is more important than luck. If you invest even 1 or 2 hours daily in self-improvement, reading, learning, or thinking, that you can gradually become the person you want to be. Real success comes from this, not from sudden overnight miracles. Valuing time doesn't mean staying busy all the time, it means being aware of what you're doing with your time. Unconscious time spending is the biggest problem today, especially due to cell phones and social media. Often, we pick up the phone for 5 minutes, and before we know it, an hour has passed. Bennett says we should consciously allocate our time, decide deliberately how much time to give to each task. If you're a working person, 8 to 9 hours of your day go to your job. But the 5 to 6 hours after that are yours. Bennett focuses on these extra hours, saying they're the time that can make you extraordinary. Many people relax after work, watch TV, or pass time aimlessly. But if you use this time wisely, it can transform your life. You can learn a new skill, read a book, or work on your goals. Bennett also suggests dividing time into smaller parts. An hour feels big, but if you break it into 4 15-minute segments, it suddenly seems manageable. If you do something productive in each 15-minute slot, it can make a huge difference over a day. Bennett gives a relatable example. If you spend just 30 minutes daily on something meaningful, you'll have invested 182 hours in a year. That's enough time to learn a new language, write a book, or prepare for an exam. If 30 minutes are so powerful, imagine what an hour can do. Another reality of time is that it keeps moving, unstoppable. Whether you want it to or not, it won't pause. So, Bennett advises not to race against time but to flow with it, consciously. Ask yourself daily, am I spending my time where I should? If the answer is yes, you're on the right path. If not, a bit of reflection is needed. Another way to understand time's value is to visualize it. Imagine you get $86,400 every morning, but if you don't spend it by the end of the day, it disappears. Similarly, you get 86,400 seconds daily, and what's gone is gone forever. Would you want such a huge amount to be spent thoughtlessly? Bennett's message isn't just about productivity, it's about awareness and intentional living. When you value time, you start avoiding distractions and appreciating life's small moments, like meaningful conversations with friends, revisiting old hobbies, or just reflecting on yourself. This is only possible when you consciously make time. If you liked our free summary, please subscribe to our channel, buy our membership, or support us via digital payment. Now, back to the summary. Understanding the value of time means understanding your own value. Bennett says that when you respect your time, you indirectly respect yourself because you acknowledge that your life, growth, and happiness matter. And this is only possible when you use your time wisely. In today's world, where everything adds, apps, videos that competes for your attention, understanding time's value is even more crucial. Bennett's book teaches us how to steer clear of modern distractions and fill our 24 hours with real purpose. The best part? It's not difficult, it just requires a small mindset shift. So, the next time you're about to say, "I don't have time," ask yourself honestly, do I really not have time, or have I spent it thoughtlessly on something else? This question will bring you closer to your priorities. Bennett wants us to use our time consciously, wisely, and lovingly because, ultimately, the truth of life is this: you are what you do with your 24 hours. In How to Live on 24 Hours a Day, Arnold Bennett calls wasting time the great sin of the biggest crime. In his view, wasting time without guilt is one of the biggest problems of modern times. It's not a small issue, it's a silent crime that slowly hollows out a person's life. We often think theft, lying, or cheating are sins, but Bennett argues that squandering your precious time on meaningless things without purpose is also a crime against yourself and indirectly against society. Time is a resource you get only once, and ignoring it means rejecting your growth, improvement, and life's value. In our daily lives, many habits seem normal but silently eat away our time, like reading every irrelevant news article in the morning just because it's there, or spending 40 minutes gossiping over coffee, which neither teaches you anything nor gives productive energy. Bennett says such habits are dangerous because we think they're harmless, but these small things add up and steal entire days. Imagine wasting just 2 hours daily on such activities. That's 14 hours a week, 730 hours a year over a month. When we wonder why we didn't achieve anything significant by year-end, these wasted hours are the real culprit, unnoticed. What's striking about Bennett's argument is that he doesn't just highlight the problem of wasting time, he explains how modern people have normalized it, feeling no guilt. Wasting time has become an accepted routine. We say, "Let's kill some time," and slowly, that time killing becomes life killing. It's an illusion, a false comfort zone where we think wasting a little time doesn't matter. But Bennett sharply says it does matter a lot. When you waste a minute, you weaken a small part of your future. When this happens repeatedly, your goals, dreams, and potential remain unfulfilled. Bennett notes that when someone wastes money, they feel regret. But wasting time rarely brings the same remorse because we think it'll come back. The truth is, time never returns. The hour you left empty is gone permanently. In our daily routines, we often spend moments mechanically, without purpose, like coming home and sitting in front of the TV, flipping channels for hours without watching anything meaningful, or scrolling on the phone aimlessly. Bennett calls this an unthinking routine, where a person becomes a slave to habits, not a master of their mind. This unthinking routine kills creativity, suppresses imagination, and, most dangerously, destroys awareness. You become a machine that wakes up, goes to work, eats, and sleeps without truly living a single moment. Bennett's writing shakes you. It holds up a mirror, forcing you to ask, am I wasting my time too? If the answer is yes, he also tells you what to do. The first step is awareness. You can't change your time-wasting patterns until you recognize them. Awareness means taking 10–15 minutes daily to reflect on how you spent your time. What moments were productive, which were wasted? Were those newspaper headlines necessary? Was that hour-long coffee shop gossip meaningful or just a distraction from boredom? Bennett's philosophy isn't about a strict, robotic life. He doesn't say to fill every second with work or effort. He talks about balance but wants every moment to be lived consciously, whether it's studying, reading, walking, or listening to music. Do it with awareness, not as a habitual reaction. Using time consciously doesn't mean living a boring life, it means experiencing life fully. When you do something with awareness, it brings satisfaction and fulfillment. But when you waste time thoughtlessly, you slowly start feeling hollow. Insomnia, a common disease of modern humans. Bennett gives a gentle but firm warning: if we don't stop our time-wasting habits now, we'll be left with only regrets later. Regret is the heaviest burden. But he also offers hope. With small steps today, we can reclaim our time. His suggestion is simply reserve a small part of your day, 30 minutes or an hour, just for yourself. Do something that helps the human inside you grow. This time investment will gradually transform the rest of your day. Bennett says greatness isn't achieved in a single day, it's built from small daily decisions. The quality of those decisions depends on how you use your time. Wasting time isn't just about losing hours, it's about squandering your potential, possibilities, and life's richness. Life may seem complex, but Bennett offers a simple formula: don't waste time, and you'll discover the real magic of life. This isn't a dramatic line, it's a tested truth. When you start respecting your 24 hours, life respects you back with opportunities, growth, and deep satisfaction. So, the next time you pick up your phone or spend an hour on a random activity, pause and ask, is this doing justice to my time? That pause, that question, can change your habits. And once your habits change, your life's direction can shift entirely. That's Bennett's true message and the first step to overcoming the great sin. In How to Live on 24 Hours a Day, Bennett offers a practical and comforting insight. You don't need to abandon nor overhaul your life to improve it. You don't need to quit your job or shirk family responsibilities. Instead, you just need to reclaim 90 minutes to 2 hours from your 24-hour day, a time that's entirely yours, dedicated to personal growth. Bennett believes this is the time that shapes your life's true direction. Everyone today says, "I don't have time for myself." It's the most common and believable excuse because we're tangled in work, traffic, family duties, phone calls, and emails all day. But Bennett gently challenges this thinking. He says time won't magically appear, you can't add more of it. The only thing you can do is use it better. Some might think Bennett suggests cutting sleep, ignoring family, or quitting jobs, but that's not it. He acknowledges that everyone has fixed responsibilities that can't be ignored. His approach is realistic: carve out 90 minutes or 2 hours in the evening, after work, dinner, and a moment of relaxation. How do you find these 90 minutes when your evening already feels full? Bennett suggests honestly auditing your evening routine. Observe what you're doing. Are those activities truly necessary? Do they bring inner joy or learning? Or are they just habits and boredom? If you spend an hour watching TV with no real value or 1.5 hours scrolling on your phone, would you want those precious hours to slip away? Bennett emphasizes reclaiming that time, demanding it, and using it consciously. Once you reclaim these 90 minutes, the next step is how to use them. Bennett inspires here. This time shouldn't just be for relaxation or entertainment but for productive personal growth. This doesn't mean doing something boring or heavy, it means engaging in activities that expand your thinking, deepen your understanding, and make you a better person. You could read a good book, a biography, a thought-provoking novel, or a self-improvement text. You could write down, journal your thoughts, maintain a diary, or draft an article or story. You could enroll in an online course to learn a new skill like coding, design, or communication. Or, you could simply sit and think or reflect on yourself, meditate, or clarify your goals. Bennett treats this time like a secret time, a private temple where you connect with yourself, understand yourself, and grow quietly. You reserve this time for yourself, like daily exercise for physical health, but for your mental, emotional, and spiritual fitness. Isn't it worth asking, can't I spare just 1.5 hours out of 24 for myself? Should our entire lives be dictated by others' demands and external distractions? Bennett's message is clear: if you define your identity only by your job, family, or social roles, you'll slowly lose yourself. But if you carve out this small daily time to meet yourself, you can regenerate. Many think change means big moves, changing jobs, moving cities, or making dramatic decisions. But Bennett's view is that real change comes from consistently altering a small part of each day. If you dedicate 90 minutes daily to your development, you'll have invested 550 hours in a year, a significant amount by any standard. It might feel tough at first, that you're tired, not in the mood, or distracted, but Bennett says, just as discipline is needed for physical health, determination is needed to nourish your mind and soul. Start small, with 30 minutes, and gradually increase. The key is regularity, a fixed time, a fixed space, and a clear intention. Even with kids or family responsibilities, this is possible with planning and family support. When your family sees you using time constructively, they'll be motivated too. And as you grow, your family indirectly benefits because you become more patient, aware, and fulfilled. Bennett doesn't guilt his readers, he motivates and encourages them to prioritize themselves without extreme sacrifices. He says life is already busy, but carving out a small part is the real art, and it doesn't require special skills, just a small commitment. Bennett also warns that if you think you'll pursue personal development only after retirement or during vacations, you're missing life's biggest opportunity. Learning and growing isn't something you postpone, it's something you practice daily, starting with those 90 minutes. When you make these 90 minutes sacred, their impact spills over to your entire day. Your thinking becomes clearer, decision-making improves, and you gain a sense of direction. It's not just about those 2 hours, it's about upgrading your entire mindset. So, Bennett repeats, you can't add time, but you can use it better. When you learn to use your time well, life feels rich, meaningful, and fulfilling. You can start today. Grab a notebook, observe your routine, and decide which 90 minutes will be yours. Protect that time like an appointment, a prayer, or an essential task. Slowly, it'll become your greatest investment. Bennett's message isn't a fantasy, it's a realistic, impactful way to move toward a better life. The best part? You don't need to go anywhere or depend on anyone, just use your 24 hours more consciously. That's the core of his philosophy. Greatness, happiness, and peace aren't out there, they're hidden in your daily routine, waiting to be discovered when you realize you can't add time, you can only use it better. In How to Live on 24 Hours a Day, Bennett highlights another crucial point. Just as regular physical exercise is essential for the body, regular mental training is vital for the mind. He says reading, thinking, and writing aren't just educational tools, they're exercises that make your mind stronger, sharper, and more purposeful. In the rush of modern life, we try to keep our bodies active with gym or yoga, but we neglect our minds. Bennett's philosophy is that managing time isn't enough. If you want a meaningful, fulfilling life, you must also train your mind. Without a clear, focused mind, even reclaimed time won't be used effectively. Mental clarity, depth, and sharpness come from mental discipline. How do you train your mind? Bennett suggests 3 simple, effective methods: reading, thinking, and writing. These are accessible to everyone, regardless of background. First, let's talk about reading. Bennett says reading isn't just about gaining knowledge, it provokes your mind to think in new directions. Reading a good book, like a biography, philosophical text, or classic novel, takes you out of your comfort zone, introduces new ideas, helps you understand others' lives, and challenges your thought patterns. This makes your mind flexible, boosts imagination, and sharpens decision-making. But he clarifies that reading random news or scattered social media content doesn't train the mind, it makes it shallow. He suggests curated reading, Choose books thoughtfully and dedicate at least 30 minutes daily to deep, distraction-free reading with your phone on silent and your mind fully engaged. Next is thinking, perhaps the most underrated habit. We assume everyone thinks, so what's special? But Bennett explains that conscious, deep thinking is an art that needs development. Thinking means focusing on a topic, examining it from multiple angles, and evaluating its pros and cons. It builds insights, prevents impulsiveness, and makes you a thoughtful person. Bennett suggests reserving time daily for thinking while walking, before bed, or reflecting on something you read. For example, if you read about discipline, ask yourself, am I disciplined? Where do I get lazy? Does discipline bring freedom or control? Such questions bring clarity and elevate you above shallow thinking. Finally, writing is perhaps the most powerful way to train the mind. Writing acts like a mirror, revealing how organized, vague, or clear your thoughts are. Bennett sees writing as a mental discipline that shapes your thinking and turns internal confusion into external clarity. You don't need to become a professional writer or start a blog and just practice writing your thoughts daily. This could be a journal where you note your goals, fears, or daily learnings, or short reflections on topics like what does success mean? Or how can I be a better person? Writing not only clarifies your thoughts but also builds confidence. Bennett understands that reading, thinking, and writing might feel boring initially because our minds are used to passive, distracted routines. But as you adopt these habits, your mind becomes responsive, alert, and active on a deeper level. Mental training isn't just about boosting IQ, it's about understanding yourself, your feelings, and your goals better. A trained mind doesn't get upset over small things, channels energy effectively, and builds inner stability, bringing both success and peace. Bennett stresses that modern humans' biggest problem is mental laziness. We're physically busy and socially active but inwardly dull and confused. The only solution is daily mental discipline. He believes that someone who invests 90 minutes daily in mental growth can surpass others, regardless of background. This idea remains relevant today, as distractions have increased, making mental discipline even more critical. When you nourish your mind daily with good ideas, thinking, and wisdom, your personality gains a glow. Your conversations deepen, decisions mature, and a quiet confidence develops. This doesn't come from shortcuts but from small, consistent time investments in yourself. If you think you're too late, Bennett's answer is simple: never too late. Your mind can grow at any age or stage if you start nourishing it. You can begin today with a small routine: 20 minutes reading, 10 minutes thinking, 10 minutes writing. These 40 minutes will recharge your mental fitness, and you'll feel your thinking gain clarity. By applying Bennett's ideas, we won't just live life, we'll actively experience it. It starts with training the mind because a strong mind can face any challenge. His message is clear: if you want a purposeful life, train your mind daily. Make reading, thinking, and writing part of your life. This is the path from an ordinary life to extraordinary living, quietly, steadily, and deeply fulfilling. In How to Live on 24 Hours a Day, Bennett shares a vital, practical insight: to improve your life, focus on one simple thing, a routine. It sounds basic, but its impact is profound. A routine isn't a restriction, it's a way to empower yourself. Bennett says that if you dedicate just 30 minutes daily to a focused activity like reading, thinking, or reflection, your mindset and perspective can transform. Modern life is unpredictable and scattered. Our schedules are dictated by bosses, notifications, social media, or family duties. This leaves little intentional time for ourselves, making life reaction-based, not reflection-based. Bennett aims to bridge this gap. He says if you keep waiting for free time to do something productive, that time will never come. Time must be created, and that's only possible with a routine. A routine means doing the same activity at a fixed time daily, building habits and mental stability. Bennett emphasizes that discipline builds freedom. When you train your mind daily at a set time, you gain control over distractions, and your concentration improves. How do you start a routine? Bennett's method is simple and achievable. Begin with 30 minutes. You don't need to overhaul your schedule or make big changes. If you reserve 30 minutes each morning or evening for reading, writing, or deep thinking, that small step can bring significant change. These 30 minutes act like an anchor, reminding you that your mind is in your control, not the world's chaos. Bennett understands everyone is busy, so he doesn't suggest quitting jobs, ignoring responsibilities, or flipping your routine. He simply asks you to carve out 30 minutes from your busy day and treat it like secret time. No phone, no emails, no social media, just you and your thoughts. How you use these 30 minutes matters. Bennett values reading highly. Choose a classic novel, thoughtful nonfiction, or a text that expands your thinking. If reading isn't your thing, try writing a journal. Your thoughts, clarify ideas, or reflect on a topic. If writing doesn't appeal, use the time for deep thinking. Ask yourself questions about life or clarify your goals. A routine isn't just an activity, it's a commitment to yourself. When you do the same task at the same time daily, your mind adapts to the pattern. It might feel forced initially, but soon it becomes part of your identity, sparking transformation. So, friends, that was today's book summary. Let us know how you liked it in the comments, and thank you for listening till the end.